11 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Actually, it's 11 a.m. here in Tucson, Arizona, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, folks, to Streaming Church TV. This is our live video blog, and we set this up. We're pretty portable in the way we do this for a lot of different reasons, but we will also archive this later. So the real value in what we do here is really archiving it, but we like to do it live just for kicks and giggles. I'm Phil Thompson. I'm the Executive Director of Streaming Church TV. Fancy title. And this is Steve Lacy, who is our president and founder of Streaming Church TV. Steve, how are you today?
I'm recovering.
Steve has been dealing with the flu.
Yes. Been much better today. Yesterday, different story.
Well, we're sorry, Steve. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. But folks, we want to let you know that if you are watching us live, you can type in questions here on the Streaming Church TV platform. We are talking about streaming. And we welcome your questions, welcome your feedback. And again, if you're watching this archived, which is obviously later, you can still email us at support@streamingchurch.tv, or you can call our toll-free number, which is 866, do you remember it?
I do. 866-852-6648.
866-852-6648. That's our toll-free number. So anytime you're watching this, you can give us a call. We have customer support 24/7, although if you're watching this thing at 3 a.m. and you don't really need an emergency call, please don't call a number. Okay? But all right. Well, we always have a lot of fun doing this, and today is going to be no exception, even though Steve is under the weather. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that we Streaming Church TV streams to multiple platforms. We stream to the Android phone. We also stream to the iPhone, the iPod, and I actually have it right here, ladies and gentlemen, an iPad.
Yes.
And so we do stream to the iPad. So just to prove to you that we actually have an iPad here. I stole it from my wife. Actually, I didn't steal it, but I borrowed it. So we stream to those platforms, but one of the things you may not be aware of, or maybe you've heard about, is we stream to Roku. So Steve, tell us a little bit about what Roku is.
Well, Roku is a device that we discovered, I don't know, a while ago, actually probably a couple of years ago. It's a device that's sold at Target, Best Buy, any of the electronic stores. And what it is, actually we have one, right?
Yes, we do.
It's a small little device. As I explain it to people, most of the time I say, have you heard of Roku? And they go, no, I've not heard of Roku. But I say, you heard of Apple TV? And they go, oh yeah, I've heard of Apple TV. Well, Roku kind of operates in the same space as the Apple TV. So it's a little hockey puck device that has a port to hook up to your television and a wireless connection to connect to your home network.
Or it doesn't have to be wireless, does it? Or does it?
I think the newer ones are predominantly wireless, but they do have wired versions as well.
Okay.
So basically you hook it up to your home network, and then there are channels available via Roku. The most popular channels would obviously be Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, so you can get your movies and TV programs and that sort of thing over the Roku device.
All right, so we stream to Roku. In fact, let's give people a little visual look at the Roku. I'm going to switch over here to a little TV that we've set up next to Steve here. And this is actually, if I can do this right, you're going to see this is Roku. We've got Roku turned on. We've got a little boxes hooked up to our Wi-Fi here at the place we're at. And you can, I don't know if you can make that out, but there are some different channels on here. I realize this is a little blurry, and I apologize, but this gives you an idea of some of the things here that you can choose. Disney's on here, Pandora, radio, as you said, Hulu Plus. Crackle has old TV shows and movies, Amazon, Instant Video, Netflix. Now, Steve, just to clarify here, the Roku costs about $48.
Yes, it's depending on what model you buy. So the low-end model, they're all HD now, but the low-end model is I think around $50, and then their high-end model is $100.
Okay, the high-end model. Do you know what you get with the high-end model offhand?
There's, I think, some additional higher quality image capability.
Okay.
But we just went with the lower end $50 item. It works great. It's
Well, let me go back to the TV here, and so we've hooked up Roku. We're Roku's wireless, and so it's now connected to Roku. This TV is, and Netflix. You can watch Netflix through Roku, although you do have to have a subscription to Netflix.
Yes.
The same goes for Amazon. The same goes for some of these. Crackle, I believe, is free.
Yes.
And again, I'm sorry you can't see all these. Pandora's pretty much radio, music you can listen to. Facebook, you can look at Facebook photos and videos, obviously free using Roku. NBC News has some stuff. Actually, the NBC News deal is kind of cool. I was watching, let's see if we can turn it on here. I was watching NBC News, and they had some old clips. They had Barry Goldwater.
Oh, really?
His debate. And so I just clicked on NBC News, and let's go ahead, and we're probably violating copyrights here, but we'll do it anyhow. So there you can see some of what NBC News has here, different little excerpts of what's going on here. I'm trying to see if there's anything old on here. But you get an idea. I know you can't see this real well just because we're just shooting a camera into it, but look, there's George Clooney. So if you want to listen to George Clooney and what the future here is for George Clooney, you can just click on this and you can play an interview that George Clooney had on NBC. And let's give it a second to load. And again, I'm just giving you this for examples. This is some visual stuff here. It's taking a little while to load. We probably, our internet connection here. Oh wait, there we go. There's George. George speaking with the guy from Meet the Press and some other guy with long hair. So they're just chatting there. So again, this is NBC's little deal here. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you some other choices you have. Here's a game, 4 in a row. My son bought this game for like 99 cents and he could play a game on Roku. There's some other games here, games for Roku, more of that, revision. And look, there's Streaming Church TV. We have our own channel.
Yeah, what a deal.
So what's on Streaming Church TV, Steve?
So what's on Streaming Church TV is everyone that is streaming in a particular format. So you've got to stream in the platform in the format that's going to go to the most platforms. If you stream in the H.264 video and AAC audio format, it will also stream to the Roku live. So what you want to do is let us know that you want to stream live to the Roku, and we'll add you to the queue, and you'll be in the live streaming area. All of the on-demand stuff is available at streamingchurch.tv as well. And so anything that any of the churches encode in MP4 format automatically goes into the on-demand library here.
Okay, so let me just throw a channel on here. Let me switch things over here so you can take a look at this again. Here's a Streaming Church TV channel. I'm going to open up the channel here if my Roku remote works. There we go. And this happens to be our church. Alive Church has a channel on here. Actually, they have a channel within our main channel, Streaming Church TV. And this is the Alive Church series, different sermons that they have done. The feet thing has to do with sex, pure sex. It's a teaching series we did, so we're not into. Okay, let me go back to this, and you can see. Look, there's you. We did a little interview with you, and then here's another church that's on Roku, Praise Chapel. Resurrection's on here. Faith Baptist. Just a bunch of different churches that stream with our company are on this, and some of them put graphics, some of them didn't. I'll just go ahead and let's go ahead and click on One Life here. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and play these guys for just a second or so. And we're always playing alive stuff, so let's give somebody else a little bit of love here. So here we go, clicking on a church called One Life, and they're in a series called It Came From Within. And so this is just a little example of some churches that are streaming with us, and they've encoded their files in such a way where they can actually go to and be played on Roku. And I want to talk a little bit about there's a difference here. if this actually works. There we go. Let's go back to it. And this is a church called One Thing Life. And there we go. So there's a little thing that they have done. You're not going to hear the audio very well. I'm just letting people see the picture.
All right. So one of the things I did while we were here is we hadn't put our Streaming Church channel in the live selection. So you can show what piece of the live looks like. I don't think we're streaming in the right format though. So that's right.
Live?
Yeah, no, this.
Oh, this?
This particular broadcast.
Oh, but we can.
You can show what it looks like, what the menus and that sort of thing looks like.
Right, okay. This is back, I'm going back over here to One Thing Church. And this is just some worship right now that they've got going. And this is actually some great worship here. So they are on Roku. So they actually did this service live, but they imported it to Roku.
Right.
And I'm going to go ahead and dump out of that and go back to us here just a second or so here. All right, so multiple churches that stream with StreamingChurch TV are also able to stream on Roku if they do what?
If they stream in the proper format.
And what is the proper format?
So the proper format, as I mentioned earlier, is for video you need to stream in H.264, and the audio needs to be in AAC format.
Okay.
So if you're using the Adobe Live Media Encoder, which is a popular media encoder, if you're encoding on a Mac, AAC is available and it's one of the options. You just choose it. If you're on a PC, you need to purchase an adapter or an add-in to the encoder that allow you to stream the audio in AAC.
Okay, so right now, like for instance, we're streaming live right now, but I am not streaming H.264. I'm actually streaming VP6 and MP3 in the audio. So I'm going to have to convert this after I'm saving this to a file on my computer. Even though we're streaming live, it will save to a file. And then I've got to convert it to MP4.
Right.
In order for it to be seen on Roku.
Right, in order for it to be available on the Roku.
To be available, right.
So if you just upload it to the Media Vault in MP4 format, the system will pick up that, I've got some properly formatted stuff that I can add to my on-demand channel.
All right. We have somebody on our chat here that is jumping in, and he seems to know a lot, maybe because his username is God.
All-knowing.
Thanks, Dan. So FreeMake Video Converter will convert to those formats also, and it's a free converter.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation, because there's a lot of video converters out there, and there's a lot of marginal video converters out there that will sell you a video conversion product and also install some malware on your computer and do some things. So there's, for some reason, the video converter software people seem to be kind of a tough breed. So if you've got a good recommendation for a video conversion software tool, then sounds great.
Well, now, what are some conversion tools available? I mean, like at a live church, where you and I attend church, and this is actually where we're at right now, we have Adobe Premiere.
Right.
And so we have that, and then there's another encoder connected to that, I believe. I can't remember what the encoder is. But like for instance, our services here at a live church, we do 3 services on a weekend. We try to pick the best service, and I do some editing with Adobe Premiere Editor. And then I encode it, and I can't remember the encoding software that we're using to do that, but it's not free, we paid for it. And it converts it to an MP4.
Oh, it doesn't do that within Premiere? Well, Premiere had the capability.
Maybe it does.
It may do that. So as far as other video converting software, the ones that, a popular one is Handbrake, and it's also a free, open source, reputable tool.
Okay.
Handbrake, yes. You go to handbrake.fr. So I assume the authors are the original writers of the thing are from France.
Okay. Yeah, right. France. So, and you know, if it's from France, it's got to be good. Okay. All right. So that's one product. FreeMake Video Converter is what Fireproof Computer Services recommend, and I know Fireproof Computer Services, good people over there. Dan Pataconi. and company. Anything else you can recommend to convert? Because that seems to be the question a lot of times. Is okay,
Yeah.
I've got all these files. How do I convert them to MP4?
Yeah.
So again, Handbrake is one.
Yeah, Handbrake is one. You know, I'm running on the Mac, so the options are maybe a little more limited.
Okay.
I'll use as a playback tool, and also it has the ability to convert as well. That's also a free one that's out there, is VLC.
Okay.
And it's cross-platform as well, Mac
Okay.
and PC. We had our server guy just recommend a tool for us just recently. He said it'll convert anything. It isn't a free tool, it's a paid tool. And I can't remember what it was called. I'll have to look that up real
remember
quick.
getting that.
Replay Converter. Yeah, so from applian.com, applian.com.
Say that again.
It's-
Applein or whatever. Right.
Applian,
Yeah.
applian.com, and it's called Replay Converter.
Okay.
So it's recommended. It is I think it's less than $10 to buy it, but supposedly it'll convert anything.
I've used their player before. They have a free player that plays
Oh,
FLV files.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've used their player before, and it works well. The player does. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so people can use, so you can get on Roku if you're a customer of StreamingChurch.tv. Again, if you if you want to be on Roku Live, you've got to be streaming on H.264 and then AAC on the
Right.
video.
One of the other things we didn't mention on the Roku is it's $50 to buy, and there's no monthly fee.
Oh yeah.
So there's I was reading some stats. I think it's 24% of the people that buy a Roku device drop their cable service.
Wow.
So they'll just buy the Roku device, and as you can see, there's all these channels. You didn't go to what this reflects here is the channels that Phil has down selected to.
Yeah.
There's actually
There's tons of them.
tons, thousands of different channels in the
Yeah. I don't even know
channels.
how do I get to?
It's there. It
All
is.
right,
You
go to
just-
settings.
It's channel store.
Channel store. Let me go back over here.
It's up.
There it is. To
There's-
hit channel store, and then from channel store, it will open up and show you hundreds and hundreds of channels.
Yeah, and a lot of special interest things. So there's some actually really good channels on here for doing church media. So
Oh, really?
there's one that I've watched. It's
Now it's loading up here.
I think it's called Church Media Design or something. But a guy has a channel that he puts here, and he mainly talks about video tools and presentation tools and ways to make a better, to kind of increase the level of your presentation that you have at your church.
Wow,
So-
I need to go there.
Yeah,
I need to check that out. Yeah, so this is just loading up here. We're showing a shot of again, all the different things people can choose from, from internet stuff, internet TV, to fitness stuff, to apps for photos and videos, to special interest.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Lots of different things.
special
here.
interest kind of things.
That's
up
maybe
here.
where my rock crawling thing would come in, huh?
It may be, or it may be under sports. I'm not sure.
Oh,
There's,
that's true. Screensaver apps, travel. And again, I know some of you can't see this very well, but this just gives you an idea of what's on Roku. If you just joined us, I'm Phil Thompson. This is Steve Lacy. We're of Streaming Church TV, and we're showing you some Roku stuff because Roku is pretty cutting edge. And as Steve said, it's very, very inexpensive. It is less than $50 for the box here, and it's got a little remote here. Plugs into your TV, and again, I've just got an extra one. This is actually yours, right? And mine's plugged into the TV right now. I use an HDMI cable
right.
to plug into the TV, although you can use composite to plug into your TV. So this plugs into your TV. You got a remote and sit back, and you can enjoy life using Roku. All right, so what about bitrate? Will this thing handle when you're streaming your services from your church or ministry? Is there any limit on?
Not that I
Should
found.
be okay?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's There shouldn't be any limitations. You shouldn't need to concern yourself.
Okay, good.
With, as you notice when it starts the programs, it kind of senses what the video quality is based on the bit rate that you're transmitting
Okay,
at.
all right.
So it puts you somewhere between 1 and 4 dots for the different bit
Between
rates.
how much now?
They just, as you start a channel, it'll show you, and they'll either put 1 to 4 dots up there, kind of indicating what the quality level is going to be like of what they're playing.
Okay, so do you recommend a good rate to stream for Roku?
It wouldn't be any different than you would use with your existing audience. You may, if you're really targeting the Roku, you may want to send a little bit higher resolution and a higher bit rate, because that'll increase the quality on the Roku. One of the really nice things about the Roku is, some of the people that do this are broadcasting to shut-ins within their church, and this is a real simple solution, because the computer may be a little overwhelming. I know my mother-in-law could very well use the Roku, but she may be a little challenged. She has a computer, but she hasn't turned it on in years now.
Okay.
It just became a little too overwhelming to keep up with things.
Right.
And so it's a good option for, if you're you want to set somebody up that is no longer able to get to the service. This is just a real, as you mentioned, you fire on the remote,
Yeah.
and flip through the channel, hit play, and you're rocking and rolling.
Okay. Now, Tony had a question about, do we have any examples of any church channel that you have created for individual churches? So I'm assuming he's asking, because we do present an option to people, that we have our own channel, StreamingChurch.tv. It's under religious and spiritual category. And people can be on that channel, Streaming Church TV, but you could have your own private channel on Roku. Have you built any of those yet? I know we've had a few people asking about it.
Yeah, we've had people ask about it, but we haven't built one out.
Okay.
So there's other, if you go to Roku, there's other churches that have built their own channels or had somebody build their own channels for them.
Okay.
Some of the larger mega churches you'll find
Sure.
have built out a channel, and some other churches as well. I think it was you that did a little bit of market research to see what it would cost to build out a channel, and I think the going rate is around $10,000, isn't it?
If I remember right, it seemed to be somewhere. It's been a little while back now, but it seems like it was somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 to build out a channel.
Right, for Roku.
Private channel.
Yeah, so what we've offered is, if you want to have your own private channel, we'll build your own private channel for $500.
I'm sorry, how much?
So for $500.
So everybody else is doing it for $5,000 to $10,000, and
Yeah.
we're doing it for $500.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've kind of plowed the ground and
Okay.
got everything all figured out, so it's not too challenging for us to kind of replicate what we've done. So
Right. Okay. So basically, and again, this is kind of the spirit of how we do things. We're a very ministry oriented organization. I mean, we all have been in ministry, and so that's the whole thing with our streaming platform, is we've tried to make it cost effective for the church or the ministry. So you're basically transferring that over the Roku. So you're going to make it very cost effective for people. Now, I just pulled this up because I was looking at something. I see Major League Baseball's on here.
yeah.
Huh. How much does it cost to get that?
Yeah, there are some channels that are a fee. Well, you mentioned that earlier.
Right.
Obviously, Netflix and Hulu requires the
Right.
monthly subscription.
I'm looking here. I'm sorry, folks. I don't mean to get us off. I have ADD or something.
You're a big baseball guy,
I am a
right?
big baseball guy, and I'd like to see. It's probably going to cost us. It's installing it right now. But before getting back to the Roku thing, though, Steve, they can get on Roku for free if they're with us on our channel.
Right.
But there is a cost for bandwidth, right?
Yes. So, I mean, just like others viewing the service on the web or on their computer, they're going to consume some bandwidth watching it on the Roku.
All right, but that's it. I mean, they're not going
Yeah.
to have to pay us an extra fee.
No.
Unless, of course, we build their own private channel.
Right.
But they don't have to have a private channel. Okay, so it's going to be a bandwidth usage fee. Tell us, hold on a second here.
Yeah, I started
I
doing
don't
some
mean
baseball,
to be.
huh?
Yeah, I'm looking at baseball here, and I'm sorry, but I'm
That's
looking.
okay.
This is kind of cool, though. Okay, here's the Diamondbacks game. They're going to play today, and
And there's no fee for this, huh? That's
well, I'm
great.
looking to see if there is. Doesn't look like there is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would
Hey,
think
I
when
am
you added
impressed.
the channel
won't
that
be-
it would be. And as I mentioned, there's lots of special interest if you're into, I grew up surfing. And so there's some surfing channels on here that are just 100% surfing. I mentioned I found the rock crawling.
Okay, right, you did. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm watching. I've got a link. I've got to go online and link to MLB.TV. So I'll
Yeah.
have to do that to watch the lowly Pirates play here. They're alive. This is actually kind of dangerous because I might not get much done during the day now that I got this done. Okay, sorry about that. I shouldn't have said that because you do pay me. All right, so real quick, Steve, bandwidth fee, because this is always a question. How do you determine bandwidth fee? While we've got a couple minutes here.
So bandwidth fee is just the number of people watching and for how long they watch. So
Okay.
the other factor would be the bit rate that you're broadcasting at. So whatever bit rate you're broadcasting at, they're going to be consuming that feed at that bit rate.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of how many people attend and how long they stick around. As you mentioned, a good rule of thumb for where we typically recommend is it's around 13 cents an hour per person.
Right, so if somebody views your service for an hour, it's going to cost 13 cents in bandwidth. If the encoder is set at around 250 to 300.
Yeah, right around
kilobytes.
250
Okay.
kilobits per second.
But if you want to have a higher quality stream, then it's going to go up.
Right.
and
So
it's
if you
gonna
were to
depress.
double that, then the price would double.
Okay.
So it'd be 26 cents.
There is
per
a
hour.
chart on StreamingChurch.tv that you can go to under pricing, StreamingChurch.tv, and you'll see under the menu there pricing, and that gives you a little bit of a chart. And that will help you as well. I'm typing some stuff into here, some people. So bandwidth is still pretty minimal, unless you have thousands of people on every weekend.
Yeah.
But we even discount it if you have. if
Did
have
you?
70 gigabytes.
Oh, you're in.
I can go back to this if you
Go
want.
back
What
to
do you want?
Streaming Church and let's just go down to.
Go back to Streaming Church.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, how am I going to do that? Hold on.
Isn't it?
We got a minute here. It's not going anywhere.
There it goes.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah. And so now, click on that.
there we go.
There, and it's go up one. It's gonna be. This is our go back up one, I
All right.
believe. So it shows this live now.
Okay, but we're not live now.
We're not playing live now, but we've queued
Right.
this thing up. So anybody that's playing live now will show up here.
Okay.
And then it'll give you a listing once you go into the live,
Right.
showing everybody that's live.
So right now, nobody's live except us, and you can't see us because I'm not encoding the
Yes.
correct way because I didn't buy the converter for
Right.
this, which I probably need to buy for Adobe Flash. Okay, we're almost out of time.
Yes.
Let me go back here to a shot of us. If you have questions about anything that we're talking about, email us, support@streamingchurch.tv. My name is Phil Thompson, but support's probably easier to remember than Phil at streamingchurch.tv. Steve Lacy and I are available. We have other people that are also available, our server guys. We have other people. If you have questions about website designs, those kind of things, we have those available to you as well, besides the streaming platform. And the best place to find out information is go to streamingchurch.tv. I talk a lot about this, and I'm very serious about it, is I'm real big on customer support. Doesn't mean that we always get it right here, but we do our very best. And so if you call us toll free or if you email us, you'll get a response from us. Even if I miss your call, just leave a message and we'll call you back in a timely fashion. That's one of our deals here at Streaming Church TVs. We want to help your organization, we want to help your ministry stream, and we will go out of our way to make it work for you. And if we don't have an answer about something you're dealing with, we'll find the answer. So just want to get that out there because that's important to me. I hate having poor customer service when I call somebody or
Oh, I know. Yeah.
so we want to do that. So, all right, guys, Thank you so much for your time today. We're running out of time here. We will archive this later, and we'll archive it in such a way where you can actually see it on Roku too, as well as seeing it on our media vault. Just go to streamingchurch.tv. Steve, thank you very much for being with us.
All right, thanks for having me.
And I'm sorry that you're not feeling well today. I hope you feel better. My name is Phil Thompson. Again, have yourself a great day. Thanks for being with us, and happy streaming.
All right.